A surprise loss by Flamengo opened the door for Sao Paulo to pull further ahead in Brazil. Here is that story and more soccer news from South America. There is a wide disparity in the progress of domestic seasons around South America. Argentina is just 2 matches into its new season. Chile, right next door, is the furthest along after completing 20 match days. Right behind is Brazil, which just wrapped up its 19th match day this weekend. Peru is the only other country whose soccer league has played more than a dozen matches so far this year. Keeping that bit of progress in mind, let's look at a couple of key stories that evolved out of this week's action throughout South America. As Brazil wrapped up the first half of the Serie A season, it looked like it was going to remain a tight battle at the top of the table. Sao Paulo entered the weekend only 1 point ahead of Flamengo. With both clubs playing weaker opponents, it seemed like the gap would remain 1 point. Sao Paulo did their job, picking off Chapecoense 2-0 on Sunday. The leaders got an early goal from Shaylin, a late strike from Hudson Rodrigues dos Santos, and another clean sheet for goalkeeper Sideo. It was a relatively clinical display against relegation-threatened Chapecoense, for whom the reality of relegation cannot be staved off by the inspiring tale of even getting a roster reassembled in the wake of the team's 2015 plane crash. Flamengo, on the other hand, couldn't hold up their end of the bargain. Playing another relegation-threatened side, Atlético Paranaense, the powerhouse club was favored heavily. Instead, a 12-minute stretch in the second 10 minutes of the match gave Atlético a 3-0 lead they would not relinquish. The loss inexplicably dropped Flamengo from second to third at the midpoint of the season. Leaping over Flamengo is Internacional, which won their 19th match 1-0 over Parana. It looked like the match was headed to a 0-0 draw until the 96th minute. Then Fernando Camilo Farias broke the deadlock for Internacional, giving the hosts a late winner in Porto Alegre and allowing them to take advantage of Flamengo's slip. Staying perfect in domestic action is never easy for any club, no matter the country or the league in question. Even getting 5 matches into the season is an admirable effort, as Nacional has pulled off so far in Uruguay. Leandro Barcia scored the only goal for Nacional at home against Progreso. The 1-0 victory moved the Montevideo powerhouse 5 points clear on the young campaign. Their 15 points from 15 possible puts them ahead of Peñarol and Progreso, each of whom are tied with 10 points apiece. 7 different field players have scored so far for Nacional as the team finds key goal poaching depth. Nacional also benefited from an own goal along the way. Their 11 total goals through 5 matches lead the Primera Division in Uruguay, and 4 goals conceded put them among the best defenses in the country. On the other side of the Rio de la Plata from Uruguay, the club that currently boasts the top record prior to Tuesday matches is not one of the many metropolitan clubs in Greater Buenos Aires but instead a club from the interior. Rosario Central is unbeaten and unscored upon heading into late August. Depending on how Monday matches will go over the second matchday, we will see Rosario Central joined by at least one club. Union and San Martín Tucumán play one another, in the first match for the Tucumán club this year. Boca Juniors also looks poised to remain perfect, as they take on Estudiantes away from La Bombonera. In Colombia, as in Uruguay, they have played 5 match days so far this year. And much like in Uruguay, only one club remains unblemished in Colombian soccer. Pending the result of Monday's match against Envigado, La Equidad has 4 wins out of their first 4 matches this season. La Equidad has not given up a single goal en route to its current perfect record.